The day has finally come, October 12th, 2018, and Black Ops 4 is finally upon us. If you guys have pre-ordered, if you guys ended up buying it last night at midnight, whatever it may be, if we're jumping on today for the first time, does not matter. Black Ops 4 has launched globally to every area in the world, and if you guys are like me, you definitely want to jump in, grind out the game, and truth be told, I'm having so much fun here at this one. Just playing every game, ranking up, it just revitalizes that grind mentality that I am super excited to have once again here with this launch. So that said, if you're like me and you just want to get right into the thick of it, absolutely dominate and do the best you can right out of the gate, today we're going to be trying to help you guys out here by giving you 3 of the best classes possible with the weapons that are relatively right at the beginning of the game, whether that be whenever you first jump in non-prestige, or if you end up prestiging and then have to start all the way back. Of course, you're not going to have all the unlock tokens to get your favorite higher tier weapons unlocked because you get 1 permanent unlock per prestige. So that said, whatever the case may be, we'll give you guys some of the best class setups possible with some of the weapons that are the easiest to obtain, or rather the quickest to obtain. So that said, let's just jump right into it. Firstly, the one that we're going to talk about the most, and that honestly I think is an absolute powerhouse and probably will be a recurring thing you see here up on the channel because I'm in love with this right now. A lot of the gameplay you might see coming up deals with the ICR. Now this thing is the default assault rifle within Black Ops 4. It's unlocked immediately, you don't have to do anything for it, and you just have access to it right away. So whether or not you're starting out with it, it's still pretty solid, but if you start to rank it up, there is a great chance that I might actually lean towards recommending a class with no perks. As crazy as that sounds, if you end up putting a reticle and 5 attachments on this thing, and you have to be level 32 to actually do that because of the way the wild cards work, if you end up doing this, it'll absolutely shred it through anything. So I guess in that sense, we can recommend a slight alteration to the class setup on top of just the core class setup I'll give you here. So essentially like a 1A and 1B. I honestly think this weapon plays better with a reticle. So for me, it's all about the reflex sight because there is no option for the ELO sight here with the ICR, unfortunately. Then on top of that, we'll end up running grip, FMJ, and quick draw. Now, if you want to toss out one of those two, the big key portion of the secondary class setup here that we'll give you with this ends up becoming really great because of grip 2, which is that secondary grip, which will cost you another create a class slot and acts as its own separate attachment. It doesn't automatically upgrade. Now on the focus of grip obviously gives you reduced recoil when aiming down sight, but if you end up putting grip 2 on, it minimizes the recoil when aiming before firing and reduces the flinch when aiming down sights. So this thing again is just literally a laser pointer at this. The other attachments though come down to FMJ, which penetrates and destroys armor. That's something that armor is really kind of an annoyance here within this game so far, at least what I've seen out of the last day and a half. It also improves bullet penetration through walls, and quick draw of course just allows you to get that improved aiming speed, which is always crucial to me. For this class setup, I end up running stim shot, scavenger, lightweight, and ghost, and then of course you'll have to use 1 wild card of primary gunfighter for that extra attachment that you end up putting on the ICR. Stim shot gives you the faster health regeneration and also allows you to maintain control of your weapon while healing, plus you're able to heal more often. Scavenger of course picks up ammo, lightweight allows you to move faster while sprinting and also taking no fall damage, and ghost allows you to be undetectable by enemy UAVs while moving. And this actually is something, there is no counter to this right now, so it is kind of annoying to play against, but if you can't beat them, join them, I guess. And real quickly, that slight alteration to that ICR class setup really just comes down to literally taking out all of the perks, putting on all attachments, and then playing around with pretty much anything you have there because there's not all that many attachments available for the ICR. You'll end up having 1 left over, but you can end up doing with that what you please. But the grip 2 is of course that big portion that really, I started to play around with this for the challenge that you had to do for it, and man oh man was it fantastic. But that said, next up let's talk sequentially actually on what you'll unlock first. This one is not one of the default weapons, but is the first unlockable assault rifle within Black Ops 4, that being the Rampart 17. Now you end up getting this at level 10, so again, very early on, so you don't have to worry too much. You just have to get pretty much just essentially past create a class at level 5, and you'll still be able to breeze through everything. So this is, I think, the first weapon that may even be unlockable, but is definitely worth unlocking. So this one we're gonna end up running on the Rampart 17. We're gonna end up running high caliber, FMJ, grip, as well as fast mags. Now, there is again that kind of second tier that is available for high caliber, which is something I've been playing around with in terms of is it worth it or not, which it comes down to personal preference. I think that it honestly is, which if you want what this helps out with, that being more damage from the upper chest and up, this is something you could maybe swap out grip because the recoil is relatively all right to manage on the Rampart as is. But for the sake of this being something that you jump into fresh, Well, we'll keep it as simple as possible. So high caliber 1 allows you to have increased damage to headshots. It just increases that multiplier a little bit. FMJ, again, penetrates and destroys armor. Again, crucial to have because armor is very annoying in this game. Grip allows you to have reduced recoil when aiming down sight, and then fast mag allows for faster reloading, which I'm not a huge fan of the Rampart's natural reload speed, so I'm all for this having this. And then we end up running for that 2 wild cards of Primary Gunfighter 1 and 2, simply because we took extra attachments. Stim Shot is our health regeneration and gear, which again is definitely crucial. I know a lot of people will choose body armor and acoustic sensor, but I'm still all for that healing. I like to be able to get into the fight as quick as possible. Scavenger allows us to take more ammo from fallen enemies, and then also Ghost is one of those things that is definitely a key thing to have because, like I said, there is no counter to it right now, and we don't have a second tier perk. So that class is one that is honestly great for holding down anchor and hardpoint or something like that, trying to retake a domination area from the outside, not necessarily rushing all the way in, and a lot more power positions, but of course you can still kind of run and gun with it. It's not the most formidable weapon running and gunning. That is one thing that I have noticed, that rifles are great in close quarters combat, but still, you don't want to get too close quarters like you could in previous years. So that's just a scenario that you're going to have to adopt and kind of feel out how the enemy is playing and how aggressive you can actually get. But the Rampart and the ICR are both fantastic in their own right in holding down areas, being those power weapons, and both of course can yield some fantastic results. Now personally, I think that Black Ops 4 is definitely a rifle heavy game right now, at least. As for 2-3 months down the line, whenever some adjustments have been made to weapon tuning, who knows? But that said, let's talk about some other weapons other than just assault rifles. And the final weapon we'll talk about today deals with SMGs, because while there are some snipers and things we can talk about in terms of loadouts, some LMGs, and we'll definitely be detailing a lot more class setups here up on the channel, so do not worry about that if you're looking for some of those. The next weapon we'll talk about is, again, another weapon that isn't all that hard to come by. It's the GKS, which is an SMG, and it only requires you to get to rank 17 to unlock, and with this you can end up getting some nice results. SMGs are maybe a little tougher compared to recent years to use, simply because, like we said, Black Ops 4 right now seems to be a rifle heavy game. But get your close quarters movement right and get your map rotations and awareness down, and you can still definitely thrive with this. And the GKS for this, we end up running the Grip, Quick Draw, and Long Barrel on this one. So Grip, of course, we've talked about it many times, and I think it's definitely crucial, especially given the recoil patterns that were added in with each individual weapon. Grip allows for that recoil to be decreased. Quick Draw is absolutely crucial with gunplay in terms of SMGs because you're usually close quarters, so every shot does count. Getting that up quicker to your aim down sight is fantastic. And Long Barrel allows for a little bit more range. SMGs, of course, in previous games could range people, but in Black Ops 4, the longer ranges can be a little tougher, so Long Barrel helps to extend that damage drop off and hopefully get you some kills at medium range, potentially even long range, depending on how accurate you are. Now we do end up running a sidearm here for the gameplay you'll end up seeing, and that's something that I don't really use all that much now. I end up actually swapping out, again, slight variation here with this one, a perk and a pistol for another attachment slot, which you can end up using. Probably extended mags is a great option with that one, or if you want to use Long Barrel 2, that's also fantastic as well. Or if you want to end up using Grip 2, that's also fantastic because it minimizes the recoil once again. It makes it literally a laser pointer, as we talked about with the ICR. But for the sake of continuity, what you're seeing in the background gameplay, we do have a Strife pistol attached. Don't really use it all that much. The Stim Shot is, of course, that gear we end up using, and then we end up using a wild card of Primary Gunfighter 1, and in that alteration we just described, Primary Gunfighter 2 as well. But perks of Scavenger, Lightweight, and Ghost, simply for mobility, no fall damage, and of course being able to pick up ammo and stay off the radar. So it's pretty self-explanatory. It allows you to traverse the map with ease, and of course, in the right scenarios and right mentality, you can shred through enemies here with this, just close quarters, up in their face, and all up in their business. So if you guys are looking for, of course, rifle class setups or SMG class setups, these are great choices here, whether you're starting out or you want to keep going on, because I truthfully believe the ICR actually is one of the best weapons in the game. Rampart's still pretty solid. It was definitely changed from where we saw at the reveal event, from E3, and of course the beta as well. I feel like there's definitely been that progression that's kind of leveled it off, but ICR, fantastic, GKS, fantastic, and it really comes down to how you use it now after that. So that said, that's what we're gonna wrap it up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you guys wanna see some more class setups? Because I got a ton planned here for you guys. I am in love with the weapons in this game, and I think we can definitely thrive with all of them. So I'll be keeping you guys up to date with all that kind of stuff. If you guys enjoyed the video though, make sure you drop a like down below. If you guys are new to the channel, want to stay up to date with all things Call of Duty Black Ops 4, hit the subscribe button. We'll keep you guys posted with multiplayer, blackout, zombies, you name it, we got you covered. Best tips, tricks, news, information, class setups, guides, all that good stuff. Hit the subscribe button if you are new, and of course, if you want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube. Those links are in the description below. And also, I think I'm going to be streaming a little bit more on Twitch. Might even be as the time of this video going live. Not entirely sure, so I'll drop a link to the Twitch down there as well if you guys want to check that out. That said, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, and peace.